What's this? A production in 2026 that has a strong masculine male lead that displays the perfect balance of strength and heroism without being made fun of or put down? What?
No way!
That's right, my rock and rollers. Today we're going to be reviewing A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which is the new show set in the George R.R. Martin Game of Thrones TV universe. I wasn't originally going to watch the show, as I'm not the biggest fan of this universe. I've never read the books, but I've seen Game of Thrones, thought it was okay, albeit much later. I just watched it for the first time in 2024, and I've seen both seasons of House of the Dragon. I loved Season 1, but Season 2 was okay for me. It could have done better. With that, I was thinking I was going to pass on A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, especially when I heard it was only going to be 6 episodes or around 30 minutes apiece. I thought, maybe not, it doesn't seem worth it. But I wanted a new show to watch, so I figured, why not? It's short, they premiere weekly, let's check it out, why not? And I watched the episodes weekly as they premiered, and man, I'm glad I did. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms fucking rules. Like I mentioned earlier, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is a spin-off of the Game of Thrones universe and is set before Game of Thrones and after House of the Dragon. It follows a man named Dunk who dreams of becoming a knight and partners with a young kid named Egg who accompanies him on his quest to prove his worth as a knight in a tournament. That's basically the plot. It's real simple to follow, and I think that works in its favor. The first thing I'll say is, because I know someone's going to ask, no, you do not need to see Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon in order to like or understand this show. You can go in blind, knowing nothing of this world, and enjoy A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms just fine. It might be better that way, honestly. This show is so totally different from the other two. Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon both have this dark, eerie, heavy, huge spectacle to them, while A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms has a more grounded, light-hearted feel to it. It has more humor, jokes, and levity in it than the other two shows had. I find that very surprising. I was surprised at how fun this show feels. That may seem like a weird question for a show like this that has knights fighting, blood, brutality, just carnage everywhere. But it's a good description. The tone of this show is one that just makes you love all the characters, both good and bad, and you enjoy seeing them go about their day. Even the color palette, it has a more brighter feel to it than Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon had. Don't get me wrong though, it still has that, that brutality, that darkness that those two shows had, but this one does have more levity, like I said, compared to the other two, that sets it apart from it. This show had a way smaller budget than the previous shows in this universe, but I think that's a good thing. For most scenes, you can honestly tell that they didn't have the money, and in some scenes it looks like they had more compared to the other shows. The showrunner talked about how during the tournament scene in episode 5, they didn't have enough time or money for a big, grandiose arena fight, so they added a whole bunch of fog in the background to cover up all the extras and stuff, and man, that was the perfect decision. It looked so damn good on screen, it worked out way better that way. Now that I'm done gushing over the tone and feel of the show, let's talk about the best thing. Well, the second best thing about the show, and that's the characters. The characters in this show are simply fantastic. Literally every single character, no matter how big or small, is great. Even better is the casting. Each character is perfectly cast, and each actor perfectly portrays the characters they are inhabiting. Peter Claffey, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, is the perfect actor to portray Dunk. He's not dumb, but he has this naivete to him where he's just a good man trying to do the right thing, and sometimes it gets him into some situations and he doesn't realize how other people or the world could feel differently, if that makes sense. At the end of the day, he's just a good guy trying to do the right thing. That's it. And that's why he's the best character in the show. That's the best thing about him. Dunk doesn't have an ego, he doesn't want fame or fortune, he's just a noble guy who wants to do the right thing and protect the innocent from wrongdoers.
Stop raping, sir!
The other characters are excellent as well. Dexter Sol Ansel, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is the kid who plays Egg, and he is phenomenal, especially for a child actor. Child actors can be iffy sometimes because they're so young they might not be able to capture what the character needs simply due to the fact that they're not old enough to understand and fully grasp concepts. But here, that's not the case. Ansel understood the assignment and knocked it out of the park. Egg is an outstanding character. Even though he's young, he works perfectly in this world. He's smart, decisive, even cunning, and yet at the same time he's also innocent and doesn't know a lot due to the fact that he's a kid. Him and Dunk make the perfect duo. They play off each other so well. They're both one of these casting choices where the characters are always going to follow them. In any future project these two are in, together or separate, they're always going to be remembered as Dunk and Egg. The other supporting characters are amazing as well. There's too many of them to go through one by one as I'm trying to keep this video on the shorter side, but let's just say Dunk and Egg are surrounded by a great cast of characters. Shout out to my boy Lionel Baratheon.
What I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
I'm gonna take a second here to gush over him. This dude stole every scene he was in. He's one of my favorite character types where you first see him, he appears to be a drunk who's carefree and likes to party, have a good time, but when shit hits the fan and it's time to get serious, he locks in. I mean, look at this armor. Fucking aura farming on the battlefield. What a legend. It's funny because Daniel Ings, I think that's how you pronounce his name, sorry if I mispronounce it again, who plays Lionel, was also in the series The Gentleman on Netflix created by Guy Ritchie, which is another awesome show you guys should watch. On that show he plays Freddy, and I just finished watching The Gentleman for the first time, catching up watching it, right before I started A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, so when he showed up, I didn't recognize him at first because he looks a bit different, and it wasn't until a few episodes in, like 2 or 3, where I was like, where have I seen this guy before? Then I was like, oh shit, that's Freddy from The Gentleman! What a fantastic actor. There's more I could gush over this show, but I'm just going to tell you guys, go watch it for yourselves, take my word for it, it'll be worth it. This show came out weekly, which I think was the better way to release it, especially since episodes 4 through 6 ramp up one after another. Now that the show is over, you can easily binge the whole thing and it won't take you very long, given the fact that they're only 30-minute episodes. The last thing I want to touch on here is my favorite thing about the show, and that is how it portrayed heroism. It's about goddamn time we have a modern show that shows heroes and good guys doing good guy and hero things. We've gone way too far down the troubled anti-hero road. Anti-heroes are cool, don't get me wrong, some of my favorite characters are that archetype, but it was so nice having a protagonist that you are actively rooting for every time you see them. Every situation Dunk gets himself into, you are practically yelling at the TV screen, cheering for him to get out of it. And don't get me started on that tournament scene he's in. Oh my god.
Perfect.
Season 2 I believe comes out in less than a year, which is great. I'm tired of waiting for years on end for another season when these shows can easily film seasons back to back like they used to. The one thing I'm worried about is how they'll handle Season 2. They built up so much goodwill with Season 1, and from other examples of TV shows, some shows have a great first season to draw people in, and then shit the bed with Season 2 onward by doing stuff nobody likes, since they're like, oh, we had the audience, let's just inject this stuff. Hopefully that doesn't happen here, but if it does, we still have this amazing first season. That's basically all I wanted to say, guys. I don't want to say too much here because I want you guys to experience it for yourselves. With that being said, if you haven't seen it, please like this video and subscribe and turn this video off and do yourself a favor and watch this amazing show. If you have already seen it, comment below and let me know your thoughts on the show.